On July 24, 2025, the U.S. Navy supply vessel quietly made its way through the dangerous waters off the coast of Somalia. The ship, a logistical lifeline to the nearby U.S. aircraft carrier, was carrying fuel missile stabilizers and classified explosive compounds. But it was about to become the target of an unthinkable attack. In the distance, 81 Russian pirate ships appeared on the horizon, slicing through the water at speeds greater than 50 knots. The pirates, armed with rocket launchers, heavy machine guns, and bayonets, bore down on the vessel with terrifying precision. It was a highly organized assault, not the chaotic skirmish one might expect from pirates, but a coordinated military operation. These weren't just criminals, they were soldiers hardened by years of piracy and battlefield experience. Within moments, the pirates had split into several attack teams, each with a specific mission to disable the ship's defenses, overwhelm the crew, and take control. The pirates opened fire with RPGs pounding the supply vessel's hull, while heavy machine guns raked across the deck. The crew, already caught off guard, scrambled for cover behind steel containers. 2 U.S. sailors fell in the first few seconds, dead before they hit the deck. But the pirates weren't done. A second wave of attackers used grappling hooks to scale the ship's sides, surging onto the deck with frightening speed. They rushed forward, taking control of key positions, including the bridge. The U.S. sailors fought back fiercely, but it was clear that they were outnumbered and outgunned. Within 4 minutes, the ship was under enemy control. As the attack raged on, the captain, an experienced former Navy lieutenant, made a decisive move. Despite the chaos unfolding around him, he activated a silent distress signal. It was a quiet plea for help sent directly to the nearest U.S. aircraft carrier. The pirates, still celebrating what they assumed would be a routine ransom operation, had no idea that the real battle was about to begin. As the ship slipped further into the hands of the pirates, the gravity of the situation began to set in. This wasn't just a case of stolen cargo. It was a direct assault on U.S. military power, and the consequences of this attack would soon reverberate across the globe. As the pirate ships closed and the U.S. Navy's supply vessel was sinking into chaos, pirates swarmed over the ship like a plague, storming the bridge and capturing the crew. In the midst of this nightmare, the ship's captain, a battle-hardened former Navy lieutenant, did the unthinkable. He activated a silent distress signal, a last-ditch effort to alert the U.S. Navy before the pirates could seize control of the vessel entirely. The signal, though silent, was a precise, encrypted call for help sent directly to the nearest American aircraft carrier, which was patrolling just 200 miles away. At that very moment, the U.S. Navy's response system was already primed for such an eventuality, and the consequences of the distress call would be immediate. On board the USS Liberty, the lead aircraft carrier of the strike group stationed in the Arabian Sea, the response was swift and immediate. Within seconds, Rear Admiral Peter Sloan stood before a massive digital map of the region. The situation was dire. One of America's most vital naval assets had been captured in a pirate attack. There was no time to waste. Admiral Sloan wasted no time in giving the order, "Initiate Operation Thundernet." "We go now." The order was clear. This was no ordinary rescue mission. The pirates had miscalculated. They were not only dealing with a merchant vessel, they had just hijacked a crucial military asset, and America would not allow that to go unanswered. Within minutes, the skies over the Indian Ocean would be alive with American firepower. The U.S. Navy deployed 10 Memihor 60 Seahawk helicopters, each carrying 30 Navy SEALs and Marine Raiders equipped with sophisticated weapons and gear for a precision assault. At the same time, 5 FA-18 Super Hornets, equipped with precision-guided bombs and high-powered miniguns, took off from the carrier. The skies were rapidly dominated by these elite war machines. Additionally, 20 MQ-25 Stingray drones were launched, state-of-the-art AI-powered reconnaissance drones designed for rapid strike capability. Each drone was armed with micro-bombs and equipped with advanced thermal tracking to lock in on targets with surgical precision. As the mission unfolded, the pirates, still unaware of the imminent threat, began to celebrate their success. They believed they had captured yet another supply ship for ransom, but America's response was already closing in fast, lethal, and unrelenting. This was no longer just a hostage situation. It was a message to the world: attack American assets, and you will face the full wrath of U.S. military power. By the time the U.S. Navy's helicopters and drones reached the site of the hijacked supply ship, the situation was rapidly escalating. The pirates, still unaware of the force heading their way, were busy reinforcing their positions, and fortifying their control over the vessel. But within moments, the sky above them darkened as American firepower descended with a vengeance. The first wave to hit was the MQ-25 Stingray drones, AI-powered marvels of modern warfare, capable of locking onto and eliminating targets with unparalleled precision. The drones skidded just above the ocean's surface, staying beneath the radar's reach before swooping into attack. The pirates' escort boats attempting to flank the supply ship were obliterated within seconds. Precision micro-bombs rained down, sinking the boats in fiery explosions. In under 12 seconds, all 4 boats were vaporized. As the air cleared, the FA-18 Super Hornets circled above, ready to launch their attack. The powerful jets dove in, strafing the ship's upper deck. With the roar of their engines, miniguns opened fire, shredding pirate positions, disintegrating sandbag barricades and causing RPGs to detonate mid-air before they could find their targets. Explosions lit up the sky as pirate strongpoints were annihilated, and the attackers found themselves outmatched. In the meantime, the MH-60 Seahawk helicopters swooped in low, just inches above the water-dropping ropes, and deploying U.S. Navy SEALs and Marine Raiders onto the supply ship's deck with deadly precision. They moved as one, a well-oiled machine. The SEALs, experts in close-quarters combat and hostage rescue, stormed the ship with unwavering focus. Pirates who had believed they were invincible moments ago now faced the full might of America's elite forces. The chaos on the deck was deafening. Flashbangs exploded, disorienting the pirates as Navy SEALs cleared rooms with ruthless efficiency. A team moved toward the bridge where the pirates were holed up. 2 pirates were neutralized before they could even raise their rifles. Meanwhile, a separate team secured the lower decks, rescuing the hostages who had been bound and bloodied. In under 8 minutes, the U.S. Navy had cleared the ship. The pirates, once confident in their capture, were either dead or detained. The hostages, some gravely injured, were quickly stabilized by U.S. medics while SEALs set up a perimeter. Not a single American life had been lost in the operation. Only the pirates paid the ultimate price for their miscalculation. The mission was a resounding success. The ship was reclaimed, the pirates neutralized, and the world received a stark reminder: America's military power cannot be underestimated. With the U.S. Navy's supply ship retaken and the pirates neutralized, the operation was far from over. The pirates had underestimated the might of the U.S. military, but the final message was yet to be delivered. As the rescue operation wound down, the focus shifted to a far greater objective: the destruction of the pirates' base. The pirate stronghold, hidden deep along the Somali coastline, had been a thorn in the side of global shipping for years. It was a highly fortified compound equipped with anti-aircraft defenses, fuel depots, and radar systems. But it had also been a black market hub where stolen goods, weapons, and illicit materials flowed freely. The pirates, who thought they had seized victory, were now about to face America's retribution. Rear Admiral Sloan, now overseeing the final phase of Operation Thundernet, watched as the U.S. military turned its full attention to the compound. The skies lit up once more as FA-18 Super Hornets roared toward the pirate base, their mission to neutralize the key infrastructure that kept the pirates alive. Precision GBU-32 JDAM bombs fell from the jets, slamming into the compound's command center, igniting secondary explosions that rocked the coastline. The walls crumbled, radar towers collapsed, and a mushroom cloud of smoke and fire shot into the air. On the ground, MQ-9 Reaper drones, armed with Hellfire missiles and equipped with advanced thermal optics, moved in to finish the job. One by one, they targeted the remaining pirate assets, focusing on bunkers, fuel caches, and hidden weapon stockpiles. A single Hellfire missile struck the heart of the compound, destroying what remained of the pirates' operational capabilities. But the U.S. was not done yet. As the smoke began to clear, CH-53 helicopters filled the skies, bringing in Marine Raiders for a ground assault. Their mission was clear: to sweep through the remaining pockets of resistance and ensure no pirates were left standing. They moved swiftly and decisively, their training honed for such urban warfare scenarios. Using infrared goggles and real-time drone feeds, they hunted down the last few pirates hiding in alleys and tunnels. The final result was undeniable: over 500 pirates had been neutralized in less than 20 minutes. Dozens more had been captured or buried in the rubble. What was once a heavily fortified fortress now lay in ruins, its existence erased from the face of the earth. For the pirates, this was the end. But for America, it was a stark reminder that no threat would ever be tolerated on its watch. By 7:30 a.m., the operation was complete. The pirate base was no more. In the wake of the destruction, the message was clear: attack American assets at your own peril. With the destruction of the pirate base and the elimination of over 500 hostile forces, the operation sent a powerful message across the globe. The United States does not tolerate threats to its interests, and it will use overwhelming force to protect its assets, no matter the cost. The message was clear not only to the pirates who had dared to attack American military assets, but also to any nation or rogue actor considering similar moves. The operation had demonstrated that America's military might, its global reach, and its technological superiority were unmatched. It was a bold statement: when the U.S. is threatened, it does not hesitate. It responds with precision, speed, and lethal force. From the perspective of U.S. military leadership, this was a demonstration of readiness. The rapid deployment of the MQ-25 Stingray drones, FA-18 Super Hornets, and MH-60 Seahawk helicopters was a showcase of modern warfare capabilities, blending human skill with cutting-edge technology. The United States had proven that it could respond to a major threat anywhere in the world in a matter of minutes, effectively neutralizing an enemy with minimal loss of life on its side. But the broader impact was even more significant. As global leaders watched the events unfold, it was clear that the U.S. would not allow any adversary to threaten its dominance in international waters. The operation reinforced America's role as the guardian of global order, a superpower capable of defending its interests and the interests of its allies anywhere in the world. As the dust settled over the smoldering remains of the pirate base, the world's attention turned to the geopolitical implications. Neighboring countries and military strategists took note. The U.S. had just reaffirmed its commitment to maintaining order and security on the high seas. Piracy, terrorism, and rogue states now knew that the consequences of threatening American interests would be dire. In Washington, the message was received loud and clear: America's military presence was indispensable to global stability. The operation not only safeguarded U.S. supply lines, but also demonstrated the nation's resolve to protect its strategic assets against any form of attack. For the pirates, their base was reduced to rubble, their forces crushed. But for the United States, the operation solidified its position as the global order keeper, a nation with the power and resolve to ensure peace and stability in a turbulent world. As the dust cleared over the remains of the pirate base, the operation stood as a stark reminder of the United States military power, precision, and global reach. The world had just witnessed an unmistakable message attack American assets, and you will face consequences far beyond what you could ever imagine. In less than 24 hours, over 500 pirates had been neutralized, a powerful stronghold dismantled, and America's commitment to securing its interests, no matter the cost, made abundantly clear. The U.S. Navy's ability to respond with such speed and overwhelming force not only neutralized a growing threat, but also showcased America's ability to protect vital supply chains that underpin global security. This wasn't just about saving a ship. It was about sending a message to every adversary across the world. America's presence is unyielding, and its military superiority is unmatched. The operation was a resounding success, but the broader implications were even more profound. It reaffirmed the U.S. as the guardian of global order. The pirates, unaware of the full scope of the consequences, thought they could hijack a ship for ransom. Instead, they were met with a show of force that left their base in ruins and their operations shattered. This event was a clear illustration of how a single U.S. Navy asset, seemingly insignificant in the grand scheme of global warfare, could hold the key to entire fleets of fighter jets, long-range missiles, and surveillance systems. The pirates' failure to understand the importance of their target led to their downfall. Now the world is left with an undeniable truth: America does not back down. Whether on the high seas or on foreign shores, the United States will use its full military might to defend its interests and those of its allies. What are your thoughts on America's show of strength and resolve? Do you think this operation will send a message to other rogue states or pirate groups worldwide? Drop your comments below. If you believe in maintaining a strong, peaceful presence on the seas, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support fuels the truth beneath the headlines. In our next video, we'll explore how piracy in international waters has evolved and the role the U.S. Navy plays in safeguarding global trade. Stay tuned for a deeper dive into modern naval warfare strategies.